the CA Technologies Asia Pacific and Japan Media Summit 2016. Yay! It's always amazing to catch up with old friends. Lots of familiar faces, really thankful, and meet new ones. And over the course of today, you get to meet and speak with and find out more from our boss, Kenneth Arredondo, who is the President and General Manager of Asia Pacific and Japan. He will have something new to announce, so watch out for that. And our business leaders, the solutions leaders, will be going through why our solutions are so relevant to the market, what our customers and partners leveraging them to basically win in this new landscape. And we also have industry leaders speaking with all of you. Very famous CTO, very famous emerging technology MD. I'll let that all happen through the course of the day. And an analyst amongst us as well to tell us all about the landscape. So really appreciate everybody. So a sincere 谢谢大家，唔该各位。Let me see. 감사합니다. 다녀봐. Let me see. Arigato gozaimasu. Yes. What else do I have? Kappunka. Yes. And terima kasih. Am I missing any country here? And of course, thank you very much, one and all. And everyone says, I keep saying this, without further ado, let me welcome Kenneth Arredondo, our President and General Manager from Asia Pacific and Japan.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome. I appreciate everyone coming. I know a lot of you traveled very far for this. I definitely appreciate it. I won't do all the thank yous in all the languages. Kelly has that covered. I will apologize in advance if my voice starts to go. I have bronchitis, so I'm going to speak slowly and hopefully last the whole, what do we got, 30 minutes, 45 minutes? And I will tell you, I'm not contagious. I'm on plenty of drugs, so don't worry about that. Feel free to talk to me all you want. So, lots of economic uncertainty when we entered 2016, all over the globe. Lots of news on China slowing down the economy, lots of pundits saying things are slowing down a bit. But when you look at that and you think about what we really have here, we still have the fastest growing economies in the world in APJ. You know, I try to look at the bright side of things always. The fastest growing economies and the largest economies in the world. You know, combined GDP of APJ is the largest in the world. We have 60% of the population and 60% of the youth population in our geo. That's where the growth is coming from. And IT spending is continuing to grow in APJ. 739 billion IT spending by 2016 by now. So there's a lot of positives as well. And it's a great opportunity for us to seize on those positives. Excuse me. What's exciting is this digital information where we're headed to in the application economy. I apologize. What's driving this? The portability of the cloud, the mobility. You know, everybody has a smartphone now. All the applications you can use via mobility, instant access, big data, analyzing what's going on with all the data we're storing, what people are buying, how they're interacting. You know, there'll be a time, if we want, where you walk past a billboard and it changes based on what the companies want to target you for. That type of technology can be driven out of big data. And the Internet of Things, connectivity from the Fitbits to tagging sharks in the ocean, cows that are tagged and tracked, shipping, RFID, all of the Internet of Things, pervasive information everywhere. Excuse me. Technology is accelerating. The pace of change is accelerating. Michael Faraday in 1831 demonstrated the power of electricity. It took half a century before Thomas Edison created the light bulb and we implemented the power grid. Albert Einstein wrote his theory of relativity in 1905. It was 40 years before we ushered in the nuclear age. It's accelerating at a faster pace. Companies like us, our clients, have to change and innovate with this faster pace. It took only 15 years from the first PC to the internet. 9 years, internet to Facebook. First true smartphones came out in the mid-2000s. 5 years for the sharing economy to be upon us. It's compressing. Things are changing faster. Companies need to be more innovative quicker. Whatever we're heading into in this digital economy, I do know this: software is going to be driving. Excuse me just 1 second. Some of my medicines are drying my head out. Apologize. At CA, we define this as the application economy. Most of us are living the application economy right now. I was with some analysts yesterday and was speaking about a couple of examples of this, but when's the last time you went into a bank? When's the last time you picked up your phone and called an airline? Most people drive those things through apps. And I'll tell you how bad personally I've gotten. I was in the US last week and left my cell phone at the movie theater. It took 2 days to get it replaced. I had a check at my house to deposit. $2,000 check. I waited for my phone to arrive 2 days later to deposit it rather than go to the bank. I mean, that is how addicted I am to the benefits of the application economy. It's changing everything we do, how we work, how we play, how we shop. There's some interesting examples here. Designing your own LED shoes. Not 100% sure why you'd want to do that, but you can. Games, the Internet of Things with Fitbits and other wearable devices. Tracking your health, tracking your steps. I know I do. I track. Drives my wife crazy. Number of steps, how much I sleep at night. I tell her every day, when I'm home. I slept 8 hours last night or whatever it is. She's tired of it. Interesting. Is it Thing? What's the Internet of Things website called now? This website here in the bottom right tracks all the Internet of Things around you. You can look at a geography and see what's around your Internet of Things and leverage that. Leverage it to create new apps, leverage to find out weather, leverage it to find out traffic conditions. It's right on there. Can't read it though. And virtual reality, I don't know if she's building a new boyfriend or what's going on there, but virtual reality is here. And again, application economy is driving all of these things. This is the digital evolution. We all know companies that were leaders in their field for potentially half a century, a century. Number one, unable to be beaten, who are no longer in business. Take an MBA course, you find out about how companies become uncompetitive, they get complacent. This is accelerating at a much faster rate now. Companies have to be much more innovative, much more agile. You look at any industry right now, travel, music, retail, taxis, all of that has changed with the advent of the application economy. The traditional players have to adapt or die. The Chinese word for danger, I'm going to try this, Wei Qi. Hopefully it's somewhat close. Well, I got a clap for that one. Okay, good. It also, is a double meaning. With risk comes opportunity. And we definitely believe that at CA, and I know I do. Governments, business leaders are looking at disruptive technologies as a way, disruptive technologies to them, and as a way to aggressively go into the market, to be disruptive. And since there's football there, and I'm a football guy, I'll tell a little story on disruptive technologies. Using the Super Bowl. Anybody watch the Super Bowl here? Does that even?
Yes.
A couple people, good. So it was Carolina Panthers, the #1 offense in the league, the emerging star, Cam Newton, quarterback, unbeatable team, 15-1, predicted to win the Super Bowl. Playing the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos, led by the most prolific quarterback in the history of the NFL. He holds 15 records for most yardage in a season, most touchdowns in a season, most touchdowns ever. You think it's an offensive battle between two of the greats. It wasn't. The way the Broncos won, and the Broncos in this story, and you'll hear from Stephen Miles a little bit later about unicorns and horses. The Broncos are a horse, and it works very well with this story. The way the Broncos beat the Panthers was just by disruption. Peyton Manning, the best quarterback in the history of the NFL, was a game manager. He wasn't throwing the ball deep. He wasn't taking any chances. They relied on their defense to disrupt the #1 offense. So it's an example of an older established organization being able to fight back in a new way and beat the upstart. So there's hope for all of us. And for me, if I can talk about football, I'm always happy. Of course, that's why my knees are no good, but that's another story. Here's some disruptors in action. Grab out of Malaysia. Who's used an app to call a car or a taxi? Anybody? Just a few of you, okay.
Surely the question is who hasn't?
Who hasn't is a better way to phrase it, right? Thanks, Alex. This technology out of Malaysia is now the way, and I know Kelly uses it quite a bit. You get cabs, how you get service. It was driven by the fact, a couple of people in Malaysia talking about how they could not get a taxi in Malaysia, how difficult it was. This application has basically become the Uber of Southeast Asia. And there's plenty of headroom for it. Plenty of headroom for growth. Only 6% of the taxis in Singapore are paged via applications. So plenty of growth for that. Another example, Q10, a online e-marketplace. It's the fastest growing one in the world. Interesting firm. So fastest growing e-commerce site in the world, right here in Southeast Asia. They operate in Hong Kong, Japan, Indonesia, China, Malaysia. 17.6 million users. They've just closed Series A funding, about $82 million. eBay is a part owner, and it's a very eBay similar application. And the profile of their users is very interesting. Average age of the user of Q10 is 27 years old, and it's 75% of their users are female. Targeting market demographics, that is perfect. 27-year-old females probably control more of the economy in terms of spending than any other group. So it's a great marketing. You know, they can leverage not only the site, but the demographics and the data of that site. Not all disruptors are startups. ANA has implemented our technology, our application performance monitoring technology, to run end-to-end their systems. And they haven't had an outage since they've been using that with their application, with their apps. NEC has created a new global standard for smartphone authentication with our technology to grow its cloud business. Samsung, another security user of ours, leverages our technology to allow secure, advanced data privacy on their devices. Established companies leveraging these new technologies to be more aggressive and disruptive in the market. NAB decreased its, with using service virtualization, transaction response time for banking apps by 82%. Transaction response time down 82%. More profit, happy customers, more transactions, more profit. Another traditional company using disruptive technologies. What does it take for organizations to harness this? An agile environment, an agile mentality, a culture of innovation. Very innovative companies bringing technology to bear to solve business problems. And an operationally sound organization. It's great to have great ideas and be agile and implement it, but it's got to run. It's got to stay up. I apologize. I'm going to talk a little bit now about the TRPC study that we commissioned. Mayanne is going to come up after me and give you some more details. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, some of the 10 countries we looked at for a readiness standpoint for the application economy. These are the pillars that we looked at. Government use of technology. Internet and mobile infrastructure, is it there? And business agility. Those three factors we looked at and evaluated 10 countries across APJ and ranked them. And this is how it came out. Singapore and Australia leading the way in the disruptor category. Challengers, Malaysia and China. And in the mainstream, India and Indonesia, based on the factors I just described. And we'll go into more detail on this survey here in a second. But does that mean it's over, game over? This is it? This is the rankings now and forever? No, it does not. We take a look at the data, slice it a different way. Another view of the data. Total number of smartphones, daily use of the internet, daily use of apps, the use of virtual networks, social networks, and the youth demographic score. Does that change it? This is the potential. These are the drivers for the application economy. It does. China jumps to the front. China and India jump to the front. Indonesia. Singapore falls back. Australia falls back. What does it say? It's a level playing ground for all of us right now. All countries. We all have opportunities. The leaders need to stay aggressive. The market holders need to get more aggressive and come after them. It's possible to do it. It's a level playing field for all countries. So, exciting stuff talking about. We've got socioeconomic shifts in APJ. We've got the power of computing, connectivity we have, mobility. What's the answer? How are we going to take advantage of all this? I'm going to surprise you with my answer. Software. Anybody shocked by that? CA, the software company? Software, that is what's driving this application economy. The World Economic Forum this year in Davos was like our marketing from 2 years ago. So the world's leaders, government, commerce, the business leaders of the world, and a few celebrities, talking about the application economy. That is what Davos was about this year. Software's been around for decades, but now we look at it in a different way. We look at software as an absolutely key differentiator, a core pillar of the business. It's no longer a back office thing to manage payroll. It's now a competitive advantage to go to market, a strategic competitive advantage. How do we align? How is CA relevant in this application economy? What do we do to help? APIs, we've invested in API creation, security, integration. The whole development and operating environment, from service virtualization, release automation, and testing, to network, server, and application monitoring. Security, we have to be able to do this in a secure way. The risk of the cloud, everyone was always scared of security. We're solving those problems. And in an agile way, using agile technologies to do iterative application releases. These are the things that we're doing to help our customers defend, evolve, and grow in the application economy. So, back where we started, view of homecoming there. The message for enterprises and government in APJ is the application economy is here, it's real, there's an opportunity to take advantage of it, opportunity to take market share not only in APJ, but global market share. It challenges the status quo. Our pace of innovation must match the pace of disruption. We all need forward-looking, proactive strategies to drive our businesses. And that's what CA is helping our customers do. So with that, I will ask Leanne to join me. I'll actually give you the stage, I'll get off. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you. Pleasure.
I hope you get better soon.
So do I.
It's always terrible to have a cough or a cold during a major presentation.
Okay.
Welcome everyone to Singapore. I'm really pleased to meet you. As Ken has mentioned, my name is May Ann, and I'm the analyst from TRPC who helped with the Application Economy Index.